You guys definitely know how to bring out attractive women. That's a fact. Let's just say it. You do.
Yeah,
the boys are good-looking boys and studs that they bring out the good-looking girls in any town they're in.
Every woman is beautiful in their own way.
Yeah, so I'll just get into it because we might have some like intro stuff going on. But this is the Nobody Gets It podcast, and I'm sitting today with one of our other bands that has gone to our label called Nightcap. The lead singer Ryan King right here from Austin, Texas.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, bro. And yeah, thanks for being one of the first people that were trying to make this initiative happen. We've been talking about it for a while. We've been talking about trying to get a kind of podcast going called Nobody Gets It podcast and use it as a tool to, kind of profile piece our artists more and, take some pieces that we can use for social content. Mm-hmm. So I'm super glad that, it was super important for me too. This is why I even hit you up. I think I hit you up yesterday about this idea.
Yeah.
And literally it came in this week. We're like, we need to get this ball going and this running. But I don't know. It's important for me to have the people that were essential to this company helping us build this over the last couple of years to be the first few episodes. And that's why I was like, I need you. If you're in town, I need you here.
Definitely. I'm glad I could make it.
Yeah.
It's been awesome just being a part of Nobody Gets It up to this point. And yeah, I'm honored to be here.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. We'll crack into some stuff. We're doing songs and where you're from. But cool. Actually, that's a good place to start. You want to just give us a little, to this audience who's ever listening here, a little bit about Ryan King, a little bit about Nightcap, the formation, the origin story there.
Yeah, definitely. I grew up in the hill country in Texas, about an hour south of Austin. And for my childhood, I listened to a bunch of music that, my dad had either on CDs on the radio, or music was pretty popular in my family. So family gatherings, it was kind of one of the only things that kept everybody from fighting at family gatherings, just sitting around and playing music. So that was really cool to kind of experience and be inspired by. And the first time that I said that I wanted to do music wasn't really I want to go out and have a music career. I was I just want to learn to bring people together and create common denominators and peace among people. And it kind of just stemmed from there. My dad taught me the guitar whenever I was maybe 10. And then, from there, chord by chord, try to do some riffs to spice it up and keep it interesting. It kind of just grew into, I know this and this, so maybe I'll just write a song. And I really didn't like singing all that much, so I was trying to get friends and other people to sing these songs that I wrote, and I was that's not really what I was thinking of or going for, so I just kind of started doing that and singing and trying to make it sound better and just get better at the craft. And I think I still am, step by step. Never really know where it's going to go, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of how I got into it. I moved up to Austin whenever I was, 18, go to school at UT, and then I met Alex, Jake. I grew up with Adrian, who plays keys.
Yep. So you guys all went to UT together for the most part? For
the most part, yeah. We went to UT, and I'd met Alex, and I really didn't know anybody at the school at all. So I was doing a lot of production, at the end of high school, going into college, and trying to get better at it. I wasn't very good, but I was I knew how to write songs and press record, so I was doing that, and it all sounded like shit, to be honest, but I think the songwriting was there for the most part. And then whenever I met Alex, we just kind of started jamming. We're I'd never really played with a bass player before, and he was a great bassist, and for a while it was just guitar and bass, and we're all right, should we add, I know Adrian plays keys, maybe he wants to jam, and then one thing led to another. We had some extreme jam nights where we just would jam for hours, and it's I think we got to a point where we're all right, well, this one sounds pretty good. Let's record this one and just put it out and see what happens.
And what song is that? Do you know?
That was Everest.
Everest.
Yeah, which we're well, people like it. Maybe we'll keep doing it. And if not, we had very few eggs in the basket, but we still love to do it. And
people love Everest.
People love Everest, yeah.
Even I have my little brother from my fraternity. I went to school in South Carolina, and I know when we first we're talking about you guys, we're starting to promote you guys, because it was about a year ago from now. Today's early June, and that's when we started moving sentimental. He was dude, I've had Everest in my playlist for so long, and people have that, man. Everest is a banger. I mean, all your guys' songs are bangers, but Everest is one that even when you guys play at school night 2 weeks ago, I don't know, it just gets people going. I'm glad that that's going to be like a one that you guys don't ever feel like you need to move away from. I don't know, it's a really great song to get people going and bring it to you, and your voice and projecting that's amazing.
Dude, I appreciate it. And it's been funny, like putting out, because we put out a lot of songs from that song, because that one did extremely well right off the bat, and we were like, what is going on? All right, so we're like, all right, let's do another one, and then another one, and then it's funny to see people that just discover the band be like, wait a second, like these are new songs, but I've had this song for like years.
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect? So
was Everest
filling in the gaps.
Was Everest the first song Nightcap as a group like kind of made? Was that the first song?
Yeah. It was the first song we ever put out, and I think we're gonna put it on the album too, just because up until this point we've kind of just been feeling out the best way to do it, because we kind of just like we're doing it all by ourselves for up until like, I don't know, you always do like certain parts of it yourself and the songwriting and stuff like that. So we're kind of just feeling it out, but that's one that we definitely do hold on to, and we want to like keep a part of the identity, because it's a lot of the songs are rooted in that song, and it kind of embodies a lot of the different vibes that we can go for and throughout different songs. So definitely love that one. Want to package that one for the full-length album. But yeah, it's where it all started.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then another thing I want to bring up is that your guys' artwork for everything has been freaking awesome. I mean, who does that cover art?
The Everest artwork.
Everest, like Cheap Thrills, all that stuff.
We've had a couple different people that we've been fortunate enough to work with, just cool, like graphic designers, friends, just along the way. So we've probably had, let's see, Everest. We were going back and forth a lot on the artwork for that one, but we just decided to go with something really simple, because we're like, I think the song is good. Let's just see let's truly test if this is a good song, because it's just a black cover art with the triangle, essentially, like a little mountain. But
was it the same person though that did Cheap Thrills and Heat and Dear Life?
No, so all of those were all right, let's see if I can remember it. Everest was like just like a random friend that just kind of slapped it together. And then let's see, the next like 4 songs plus the EP that we put out was an awesome graphic designer, illustrator, architect from Pompeii, who I think I had just gotten connected with on Instagram, and he was like, hey man, I love this song. And I was like, cool, you want to make some art? And he was like, yeah.
That's how it happens.
And
that's how
sometimes
it happens. It's just people you meet on the internet that like you as a fan, and you give them opportunities.
Yeah,
exactly. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, and so he ended up doing a lot of cover art for us, and we still keep up to this day. I think it was, at the time it was, we were like trying to figure things out, and I couldn't keep up with the time change, because I think it was like, I don't know, I think it was like 15 or some crazy amount of hours either before or after. So I'd be checking my world clock.
Yeah. Like, I've had that happen with people that are doing like our VFX and movie posters. They're like in Russia or like a different part of the country, and you're like, shit, I got to like talk to this person like 1 a.m. to actually have a productive conversation.
Exactly. I think at the time too, there was a bit of a language barrier. And so I would just like, to describe what you want to see in a visual art, which I'm already terrible at, I was like trying to have an idea and then like dumb it down for myself to where I could say it in like not dumb it down, but like simplify the sentence that I could say to where it wasn't misleading or could be lost in translation, literally. And so that was an awesome experience. But I think we ended up starting to work with another friend of ours for a few more of the artworks, and then we just started doing them ourselves. Yeah. And well,
Jake's super talented, artistic.
Yeah.
I know he did You're Fine. I think he did You're Fine. He did Eileen too.
I think so. Fonzie actually did the Eileen, and he just went crazy on Photoshop, and we sent him a bunch of pictures of like different colors, and he did that one, and then I did the cover art for we did an Electric Feel cover, so I did that one, and then we like printed it out. It was just like a little magazine collage, and then I think for the album and Glimpse we're doing, because I think Glimpse is gonna be the first of like the transition into like a full-length album. And so I think we're just gonna go with the logo, but the one thing that's been consistent throughout all the artworks is like the square frame, the little song. We wanted to keep that format similar to where at least like while we're trying to get all these songs off the ground, like it could be recognizable to some degree.
Yeah, it correlates.
And then we'll probably shift it up for like newer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, that's I love talking about this cover art. I mean, you guys, I love what about you guys is that you guys are all super self-efficient when it comes to art and creating your stuff. And like, I've been fortunate to direct like 2 of the videos with you guys, Sentimental and Honey. And I can kind of talk about that. Yeah, Sentimental, I'm super happy how that was with like, you know, we did that in a really cool location. And I was actually just showing like our interns this the other day, and I don't know, I love that like we did a really cool thing with that circle part.
Dude,
you know,
that
like
was sick. I remember everybody was like, I was blown away by how that even like looked on the whatever the monitor is while it's being filmed. I was like, this looks insane. This is like a roller coaster for a camera.
Yeah,
It's
it was
insane.
sick. It's a dolly track. It's a 360 dolly track, and like I've always been wanting to do that for a minute, so I'm glad like we did that for each part. Sentimental, and then having Marielle like dance around this video like was awesome, bringing out that energy when you kind of hit the second chorus or second verse.
Had Slammy P out.
Slammy P.
Slammy P on the drums.
Yeah, dude. That's before, and that's good to talk about. So like Stein, like you guys just add the drummer after that. Stein came into it. How did you guys know Stein? Because we talked about Alex and Adrian.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we touched on Jake. How did Jake come about into Nightcap?
So Jake, we did meet at UT, and then he was actually doing a lot of solo work and a lot of solo like singer-songwriter stuff that was really cool. And a friend of ours that booked our first show ever, I think at the time it was like me, Adrian, Fonzie, and our buddy Randon, who was playing drums. Is that what it was? Yeah, he was, because we had done a lot of like guitar and vocal work together, Randon and I, and I think at the time we're like, we need a drummer. And Randon was like, well, I could play drums too. So he was drumming for us. And then Jake actually opened up for the very first show we ever played. And then I remember after that, I was like, we both went up to each other after the show. We're like, dude, that was really good. It's very in line with like what we're doing. And he was kind of feeling the same way. So we ended up jamming after that and doing some writing, and things just kind of kept clicking. So just kind of happened. He just joined.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Stein came in about a year ago.
Stein came in, I would say about a year ago. The time.
Like you guys might have known him, but he wasn't in our Sentimental video, which is a year ago. Maybe you guys knew him before.
I think he was playing with us, but I think he had something going on during that shoot. So that's where Sammy P came in. Slammy P.
Yeah.
Dude, he ended up being an awesome addition. But yeah, Stein joined in. We were doing a session. It was like a live recording session for our buddies in this band called Slender Bodies. And we were doing a live session down at Arlen Studios in Austin. And that was kind of a hodgepodge group that they wanted to kind of put together a live band for the video. And Stein was drumming for that. And then Fonzie was playing bass for that. Me and Jake were doing some background vocals, just kind of standing in the background, snapping and not really doing much of anything.
Nice.
But yeah, we met him there, and we kind of like known each other in the music industry or the music scene in Austin for a while. But yeah, after that, I think we needed a drummer for something or a fill-in, and he came aboard, and we're like, dude, yeah, let's keep doing this.
Yeah,
this is good.
Nah, it feels good
board.
with you guys all assembled like that. And then it leads into we did the Honey. Honey was like we did 3 songs together where nobody gets it so far. It went Sentimental, it went Eileen, it went Honey. Eileen was awesome, done by your guy's friend Lane in Austin. That was cool, encompassing you guys and the energy in the summer in there. And then Honey, I love Honey, not just because I directed it, but we really had like the nice guys kind of like Boogie Nights aesthetic that I've been trying to do for a while, and the sound was just that way. And you guys crushed the acting. Like I'd say, honestly, I don't even know who was the best acting.
Adrian deserved an Oscar for that music video. That was insane.
This one scene when you guys are going back and forth when he's stabbing you with the syringe, we were geeking out, as like laughing our asses off on set, but it's special when you're in the editing room and you can't help laughing when you intercut these things, and you're like, oh my god, like this is literally the funniest skit part, and we wanted to have a perfect part. I mean, even Fonz though, like when Fonz is doing his ad libs, yelling. I mean, he had one spiel. There's one outtake.
Taco Bell fire sauce is just as good as Diablo. He's a lefty. He's got a bit of a noodle arm. God damn it.
But like he went off about Tua being like the quarterback we need, and like it was like amazing. Or like stuff he was saying about Stein, Adrian. It was just like the improv was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
And I love also though is like you guys really brought your A game, but I also love that we threw your friends in there like Scott and Dalian and Madison.
Dal,
Scott's sitting here with us right now. Great writer, great guy too. And like it was just fun to have your friends in there because what's really important about Nightcap is. And we saw even at school night when I was with one of our agents, Alex Duma, he told me, he was like, I haven't seen this many people at a school night in a minute. Obviously fans of your music, but you guys have a great pack of friends and family that come and support you, whether it's Austin or LA, and you guys just travel with that. Like when we did Dreamland in October, a spur of the moment show, I mean, place filled the fuck out. Yeah. And I don't know, that's just something special you guys bring to you is that you guys have a really good support system.
Man, that's something we're definitely the most grateful for as well. I mean, throughout the whole experience of doing music, I mean, that's what it's all about. Like if you're living your dream or being successful in any facet of life, but you're alone, that's kind of maybe one of my biggest fears is like being really successful, but going home and having nobody to celebrate with, So it's been really awesome being able to like meet amazing people and friends and, friends become family and then, you can just goes from there. It's awesome. We've been able to do that with collaborators, with photographers, mix engineers, and then just friends that we've met along the way. And it's definitely makes everything a lot more enjoyable and fulfilling emotionally too. And I think that's really what it's all about.
Yeah. No, I agree. And even like just thinking back on South by, we were in South by and you guys had a few shows. Arlen Studios, you just mentioned, you guys had a killer set there. Iconic. I mean, what's Arlen Studios had a lot of who recorded up there? That's an iconic spot, right?
Yeah, that's a super sick studio. It's the Nelson. It's in the Nelson family. Like Willie's done a bunch of stuff there, and his family runs the studio. And we've got friends that have been kind of involved in a bunch of different ways at that studio. It's a cool hub for a lot of memories that we've had there, and a lot of pivotal moments for our band have kind of happened there. It just has so much history that you can really feel it. But who are some of walking down the hallway? They have like the
I remember seeing so many plaques.
Sublime did
Sublime,
one.
yeah.
Whatever album that is with like the back tattoo that says Sublime on it. And then who else?
I was just amazed. Like we were in there. The sound sounded awesome, but it was awesome. Jeremy and Luke, your guys' managers, awesome guys too. Brought all their friends and good support system. Made a great night. And I just remember hopping on what's your guys' bus's name?
The Cap Wagon.
The Cap Wagon.
The Cap Wagon.
Yeah, you guys have an amazing bus. It's so funny.
Dude, we got a sick deal on that. We got a crazy deal on that.
What, you got that for like $2,000?
Less?
Oh my God.
Dude, my dad just went crazy, found that like up in Amarillo in the panhandle of Texas, and it was used for like I think it was a community college baseball team was like driving that around to games and stuff, and it's E450 like van front, but the back of it is like built out to be like almost like an airport shuttle bus thing. And so it's got all like the airport vibe of seats and stuff. So we've kind of removed some of them, flipped them around, built a table, installed that, but work in progress. My dad found it for like, I think it was 1,500, maybe amazing. Less, maybe lowballed him, maybe 12. But immediately we had to put like, I think $700 into it. So.
Has there been any breakdowns? You guys have one or two?
No. We had a blowout on the way to Nashville, but that was using like the tires that we bought it with, and
it's
they were
kind
of crusty. Yeah, so we had a blowout, and then didn't pick up a spare, and just like prayed that we didn't get another blowout from. That was an hour outside of Austin on the way to Nashville. So the rest of the tires lasted to and from Nashville. We're definitely gonna get new tires before the tour in September. But
and the tour in September, you guys are going on a tour with our other act on Nobody Gets a Crooked Kings.
Crooked Kings, the boys.
And that's also, you guys are going for like 2 weeks around the west coast, southwest. That'll be awesome.
That's gonna be awesome.
Awesome for them, awesome for you guys, awesome for us. And that going into that, I mean, again, like I'm just preaching about some moments that we've had over the last year, and they've been really awesome moments, significant moments. Like the bus, just riding on the bus back to Fonz's house with you guys. It felt like something out of Almost Famous. Like, you guys and your girlfriends and the friends and stuff. But we got to the house, partying with Fonz, partying with the managers. It was cool for me and Wade to see the Austin dynamic. But we brought the Crooked Kings there, our band from Salt Lake City. And for us, it was just, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. But like, this is what I've wanted to do with our company was like, our bands are supporting each other.
Yeah.
You and Ollie are tight. You guys talk about marketing strategies. You guys are going on tour with them.
TikToks,
But,
man.
yeah. It was maybe Fonz's birthday, but we were all in the kitchen cheersing. And like, I'm just looking around. It's like me and Wade and your managers and the Crook Kings and you guys and your friends, like, it's what it's all about. And just as you said, music's, what it's all about a minute ago. For me, it's like bringing all these cool collaborators, creative people together and helping all of each other out and supporting one another. And that's what we're excited for you guys going toward the Kings. And, you and Ollie figuring out this TikTok thing, because that's why we're called Nobody Gets It. Still nobody gets this marketing shit.
Oh, yeah, that's a wild west of...
Yeah.
Yeah, lawless.
But I love that, like, we're all able to, support one another, get along with one another. And that was something special we wanted to have all our artists be. And you guys just are welcoming people to make everyone feel at home. And we felt that way in Austin, which was awesome.
That is the way that it feels the best, like whenever you can have a good time and celebrate achievements with one another because you all work together to get, I feel like a collective group that is working together is always going to go further than anybody who gatekeeps anything or like is salty or anything like that. Like if everybody's working together to take it one step at a time, and like I don't know, my philosophy is to help, like any chance that I get to help anybody along the way that go through something that maybe I took a while to learn, I'll always take that opportunity, because it's like at the end of the day, doing good deeds in your pursuit, you're never going to regret that.
Pay it forward. So we say a lot of times.
Big time.
Yeah.
But it generates a sense of like togetherness among peers. And then, it goes into the whole, like you have more people to celebrate with whenever you do have an achievement. Yeah. And the Christmas parties are a lot more fun.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys better come back to LA for our Christmas party. Yeah. We're going to have a good one this year.
Yeah.
We've only had like maybe one, we had like a Halloween party, but this year we're like, with all our acts and all the interns and all the squad, we were like, we need to blow this house up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just blow it up.
We're going to blow it up.
What was the one where the cops came to the party? Is that the Halloween party where the cops came and what was it? Were they dressed as cops, or what was that?
Well, the context was I became friends with some cops because we were doing a music video in this house again, like 2 years ago, 2 Junes ago, for a rock band called Beauty School Dropout, and we had a bunch of, they're like these, Motley Crue type style guys. And the whole thing was in this house, and we had fake drugs everywhere. We had fake heroin, fake cocaine, like from an art house. And a neighbor called the cops, said we were being loud. The cops came. It's like 1 a.m. on like a Thursday night, so acceptable, I guess. And this cop came, and he's like, you guys are being loud, but it doesn't look like you guys are doing anything crazy. Shout out Chris, Officer Chris here. But he was like, I've been in a band before. Like, I kind of feel for y'all. What are y'all doing? I'm like, I'm just making a music video, man. I only got like $2,000 or $3,000 for this budget, so we're doing it in my house, and there's this stuff in there. And he's like, oh, can I check it out? And he ends up not leaving for like 3 hours. Like he literally the cop car is like in the road with the sirens, the flash is still going on from like 1 to 4 a.m. And he's just like chilling, watching on the Video Village, the monitors, while I'm directing, and just having fun with like our art team and hanging out. And speed to now we're friends, and he wants his son to intern for me. And it's every time I have a party, I kind of give him a little tip. I'm like, hey, I'm having a party. He's like, yeah, I'll keep my ears open. And and then he came to our Halloween party, brought a few cops, and it was like 3 a.m. and one of our guests was just, I don't know, it was just funny. He comes and hangs out with us, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. He's a good guy to have on the side.
Dude, it's a testament to just like making friends instead of the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was also like it was June 2021. I mean, this is after like, things were happening with cop perception after like COVID or like things were happening. He was just, I think him, like subconsciously, I think he was just trying to teach us like, not all cops are like these angry people out to get you, or not all bad guys. He's like 38, 39, maybe a little older, but like, he just was a musician, and then he had a kid, and he had to do what he had to do for his family, but he still respected the fuck out of what we're doing here in the house. And just a testament that don't judge a book by its cover. Like, you don't know who these people are. Yeah. But I'm glad you brought that up, because he was a good dude for us, and he's still around. And
Chris, shout out Chris,
Officer Chris, man. But I love these stories we're talking about. I'd love to hear, just like, as you kind of mentioned, there's an album going to come out soon. There's some songs that are already out that might be on there. what was your favorite song that might go on this album, or what's the favorite song you had the most writing like that you wrote, or production wise? Like what are you most excited about? Yeah.
I'm super excited about this new song we're about to drop on June 14th called Glimpse. It's a song that I think that I dug the deepest on, like writing, like lyric wise, but in the moment, that's one of those songs that you sit in the studio, and I was with a friend of mine, Benji, and we've worked with him in various ways, whether it be production, writing, like he's just an awesome guy. And we were sitting in the studio, and I was like, hey, I've got this chord progression and this feeling and this idea, motif, like an umbrella. And so we sat there, and it was maybe one of the fastest songs that I've ever been a part of writing front to back, just fully complete. And it kind of just wrote itself, and we dug deep on the lyrics and the story and the narrative, and I'm just never been more excited about a finished product that this band has made. You know, like we wrote the song, and then we had the demo, and the demo was like pretty built out, and we got everybody involved with the band and restructured like this, or kind of added on this really cool instrumental chapter and then outro build, you know, like just kind of an explosive like last half of the song.
Oh yeah, it explodes. It definitely explodes. It's like I love the
dynamics of the whole song, like really built out in a really cool way. And yeah, that's just it's one of those songs that I'm just grateful to have had the opportunity to be in a room where the thoughts kind of came out and we executed in the way that we did.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you guys played it like 2 weeks ago at school night in your set. And yeah, it's awesome. I don't know. I think you have it kind of in the middle of your set maybe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's awesome how you play that. And then I think especially, no discrediting anyone else in the band, but I think you especially, like, dude, your presence when you sing that song and a few other songs, but that one, like your projection, your just aesthetic is just awesome. Like I think that's when Doom tapped me on the shoulder and was like, yes. Like
I think it's because of the song though. Yeah. I think the song it was really hard to write because it was a tough situation that typically I don't write about situations that I'm currently going through, but rather like looking back upon to, you know, maybe I've had time since then to further understand it. And, you know, but this one I wrote it kind of like just on the cusp to where I felt like I understood what was going on, but also I was like really living in that emotional state still. And so it was very fresh, and I was just able to dip the ladle into the soul enough to pull out like the actual story. And yeah, it's definitely tough. It's emotionally evocative to myself whenever I sing that song. So yeah, I mean, I hope that people feel the same way when they hear it, but yeah, it's that one, whenever we play it, it's like very visceral experience.
No, they do, man. I mean, when you guys play, like I watch you guys, but I also watch the fans in the crowd, and like, dude, people are into it. You have people eyes wide open and just vibing, heads are moving. Like you guys really do have a way with your music to move people. And even that. For sure. I mean, obviously, and yeah, even the ones like we've been working like Sentimental, Eileen. I love that Eileen. People clap, like people are clapping in that shit.
Clapping, that's cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool to see people start singing along, like singing the lyrics to Sentimental and stuff like that. Because whenever you write songs, I obviously write the songs that I write them for the audience, like for people, like experiences that are ultimately for people to relate to. And like I was saying earlier, like create that common denominator of how are we similar? How is everyone in this room more similar than different? Celebrate differences, but bring people together under one thing that everybody can relate to. And yeah, it's kind of always been the goal with music.
Yeah. What and on Eileen real quick, like what was the like reason behind that song? What's a little bit about that song?
Eileen?
Yeah.
Eileen. I was it's a very happy song.
Yeah,
it's a very happy sounding song. Yeah. I was actually at pretty much rock bottom when I wrote that song, like emotionally darkest place I think that I've ever been in my like adulthood. And it was mid COVID, just turmoil. Everybody remembers like how that went. I was like really down about not being able to play shows. Like it really, I think a lot of musicians were kind of at a standstill during that time. So I definitely wasn't alone in that. But I just had a lot of things going on in my personal life that was just scary. You know, like I had a parent that was very sick and wasn't sure what the outcome was going to be. And that's a place where true fear, I think, really comes out. And I was like, well, I'm probably in the darkest state that I could possibly be in right now. What is the happiest sound that I could possibly make, just to like try to pull myself out of it?
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote this, like, kind of, the original version was actually very similar to like the final product, but it was just that fast, like 160 fast BPM. I was like, what does a happy song have? Like fast BPM, like 4 on the floor, and then just kind of go from there. I was pulling from like 80s and like really drivey stuff. And yeah, I just kind of, it kind of lended itself to a happy sounding song with kind of some darker undertones about, you know, essentially driving to the edge of what you know and jumping off, taking a leap of faith and jumping off into the unknown, regardless of any sort of warning sign, and just hoping for the best, essentially. And so that song is definitely just about taking a leap and hopefully things will get better.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So it definitely helped me. I hope it sounds happy to other people.
Oh, it definitely sounds happy.
It brings a lot of joy to the set, for sure.
Yeah.
I love playing that song.
Yeah. Is there an actual Eileen? Is there someone? What?
There's not.
Okay.
No, it was. I was going through some relationship issues as well during that time, and Eileen was kind of the punchline of this joke that I used to try to make her laugh and just be dumb. But so there was actually no person named Eileen, but rather it was a punchline. And I felt like I was sort of a punchline in like a really twisted way, and so that's kind of where that came from. And but I think Eileen was more so a metaphor of like a representation of somebody that you're trying your best to do your best, but you feel like you're always kind of being watched by, so there's like a dark passenger that's with you trying to hold you down. And I don't know, it generated a lot of good conversation for myself, because it's not so much that you have a darkness or a dark passenger with you or whatever, like holding you down, but it's okay to have that as long as you can face that and have a relationship with that sort of figure.
Yeah.
And it can make it easier to deal with the darknesses that can follow you around.
No, I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
But befriend them. Don't let them drag you down.
Yeah.
Don't let them haunt you. Yeah.
And then just to kind of wrap, then we moved into Honey after that, and Honey's a single that's definitely different. I mean,
very different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I don't know if it's going to live on an album, but what was the, behind the Honey story and how you wrote it, or why you even went so on the other spectrum with that?
Yeah, that song was written, I think it was written a while, maybe a year or two before, like some of these newer songs. And we were in the studio, and I think I was like, let's, again, like, I think it was just in the journey of trying to explore different avenues. And I think we came up with, we had a bass line and kind of make it drivey and dancey. And that one sort of just kind of came about, and we liked the way it sounded. So there was something there that I was like, we should finish this.
Yeah.
We should finish this. But I love that song. I love how it turned out, and it really lent itself to a different direction, which I really enjoy, because it's one of my favorite parts about this band, this project, is that we can challenge each other to write different sounding songs, slow, fast, dancey, and recently started doing DJ sets, which is like a very different thing. So
yeah,
that's sort of challenging ourselves to enjoy and create music in a lot of different realms and avenues.
What are you guys doing in your DJ sets? Are you like remixing your songs, or are you just guys?
We've done some of the remixes, of a few of our songs, and then mainly, it's definitely Fonzie's taste. Fonz knows how to press the buttons and mix songs, and he's been working hard on like figuring out how to truly curate a nice vibe.
Yeah.
We did our first DJ set, and I kind of stood next to him and acted like I was pressing buttons, but I don't even know if I should be saying that. I was definitely DJing too.
Dude, no, it's fine. It's, how many DJs are doing this? Dude, it's a funny story into that, and I may have told you this, but Actually, maybe I shouldn't. But Marshmallow, who
Yeah.
knows what's going on in that mask? Who
Yeah,
knows
dude.
if that's really Marshmallow?
Yeah,
That's all I'll
true.
say.
That's,
But-
oh, dude, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh shit! I'm gonna get
Yeah. Dude, there's a photo from our DJ set that I got just completely called out because we were opening for Portugal the Man last weekend
Oh, nice.
at this club in Austin.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were doing a DJ set. And I'll just say they ended early. And so the club was like, hey, we need somebody to fill the rest of this time. So I think we were all trying to leave. And I ran down and grabbed Fonz. Was like, hey, man, like it's one of those like, we got to save the night kind of vibes. And he was like, dude, I want to go home. And we ended up going back up there and like kind of back to back and with a couple of friends and kind of closing out the night, which was a lot of fun. But there was a point where there were like 3 actual DJs actually DJing, and I still was up there for some reason, just like still acting like I was DJing. And my friend was running like lights and he was the VJ for the night. And somebody sent me a photo and somebody was like, look up behind you. And I look up at the screen. It just says Ryan King is not a DJ.
No,
on the
it didn't.
screen.
No, it
Yeah,
didn't. Oh
dude.
my god.
It's so funny, man. But Fonz is actually really good at
Yeah,
DJing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he did it all live and created the set, put a lot of work into it. And so those songs those are ranging from like just fun songs to hear at a club. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like depending on the setting. If
Yeah.
you're doing like a private, I don't know, little hotel gig, that might sound a little different than a 70s nightclub. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely like a 70s nightclub. That's what
Yeah.
you guys played in.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you guys find that's different performing now, like school night and some other, I guess also you have Scoot In happening soon, right? This is like, you
Yeah,
just
June
told me
24th.
this might be your biggest headline show.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that one's going to be, it'll definitely be the biggest show we've ever played in Austin, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to do that.
Would you
Scoot
say
In's
it's
an awesome
bigger?
venue.
And I guess it's different because you guys played at the Luck reunion during South by,
did.
which is like Willie Nelson's like thing.
Yeah.
And that looked pretty big from the pictures I saw.
Yeah, that was a very fun festival. We were honored to be able to be a part of that. That
Yeah.
was really, really sick.
Will that be bigger than this? I mean, like, hard to compare, I guess.
It's tough to say. I mean, this show isn't going to be bigger than the whole festival, but the
Right,
crowd that we
right,
played
right.
for that fest was probably like, I'd say maybe like between 600 to 800.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Are you feeling? I guess that's where I was going. Like, so you have Scootin' happening, you had Luck reunion. You got. Are you feeling? Do you feel a difference in how you guys are playing in the last few weeks and months versus how you guys were before? And like, what's the special thing in there? And just like, yeah,
What's great is I do think that we're obviously like a lot more cohesive as a unit and respectful of each other's space and like creating tension and like serving the songs live. We've always been pretty focused on doing that live, but there's a certain tightness that like everybody's always in the pocket thing because we're not really playing to tracks. For a couple songs we'll run some back tracks for like atmosphere and stuff like that, but it's really a live show. I mean, everybody's up there and we're hearing everything in the mix and we're listening to each other on stage, and it feels very like gotta focus and like make it a good show with who you have on stage, and it's cool. I think that everybody has had enough time to play the songs that we've been working on for a long time, long enough to be super tight and good at like improving if we've got a solo or something like that. And what's really been cool is bringing in like horns.
yeah.
and
I was
friends
gonna
that are
get into.
playing
I was gonna
the
get into
horn
that in a
trio,
second.
and
I'm glad you brought that up.
we've got horns now, a violinist, fiddle, violin player who's just outstanding. For the Scoot show, I think we're gonna have a saxophone player
Nice.
because a few of our buddies that play horns with us are kind of like touring with other people right now, so it might be a different setup, maybe like a trumpet, sax, trombone.
Yeah.
We've never done sax. So that'll be cool.
What song's gonna be the best with sax? That we should look out
I'm
for.
not sure. We're
Not
going to
sure yet.
rehearse and we're going to see. We're going to find out. But
Yeah.
I think it'll just be like kind of a different trio of sound, like
Mm-hmm.
as a texture. But looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That I think is where the live sound has really elevated, as just inviting friends to come and play with
Mm-hmm.
us. But outside of that, just like being very cohesive and just having rehearsed these songs and played them live so many times.
Yeah. And into that, touching the tour real quick, because we kind of touched what you guys do in the fall. But you personally, you've TM'd for other bands, or one other band, maybe other bands. What is your secret sauce to touring that you would give advice to for touring, or like what's the bad things you want to stay away from? Like I don't know, like what's some advice on the tour front to give to people, to our audience that might be listening?
I don't think I'm a pro at touring quite yet enough to give advice, but something that definitely helped me was just making sure that you're taking time to rest.
Yeah, that's important.
Because it's like every day, if you're not gearing up for a show or...
Well, especially you with your voice. Like, do you have any vocal tricks to your... What's your vocal
with that
trick?
Tour, I wasn't even playing. I was just
you're
selling
TMing.
T-shirts and TMing.
Yeah.
But I would say, I mean, probably what's going to be best is to be honest, just to be sober and not talk like loudly after shows, that's what gets me most. Like I can sing a full show, and then especially during South by, I put it to the test because we were playing like 2 shows a day sometimes.
Yeah, you guys did like 2 shows a day sometimes.
Yeah, so the voice definitely can withstand because you're pushing air through and not like straining your throat. But I was very disciplined about like talking to people after the set, but being like, hey, I'm sorry, it's not that I'm not excited here. I just need to keep my voice low because that's how I lose my voice is like, hey, being like talking over the next band or like talking over the DJ or something like that. Just like having a loud conversation will definitely kill my voice. Like 10 times out of 10.
Do you have a funky drink or trick you have? I've heard some other people be like olive oil and oregano and some weird stuff.
That sounds like a lovely flavor profile, but I just drink water.
Right,
I drink water and really I think that's it. Maybe some like tea with honey, but like I don't really even drink that much tea. I just drink a lot of water. If I'm hydrated, then hydrated and rested. Like if I've rested my voice and I feel like I've warmed it up and, you know, just being responsible with how I carry myself I think that's the key to like longevity when it comes to doing things like kind of in marathon style. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see in September.
What's here's the theme song or theme question for the podcast. What is it that nobody gets about Ryan King or Nightcap in a whole? But you can speak for yourself or the band. But that's kind of the thing we want to keep, you know, thematic here.
Yeah. Something that nobody gets about Nightcap. That we do this because we love sharing stories, and we love sharing stories with people, and we love being a part of people's lives, and we want to like bring joy and connectivity to people's lives. I would say, I don't know how unknown that is, but that is like that's our MO. I think is like showing up, being a friend to people, and being somebody that people feel like they can walk away from an experience at one of our shows feeling like they are understood a little bit more, or they're not alone in what they're going through, and hopefully they've had a good time doing that.
Yeah,
I think that's the only thing
I can say that from ahead in the crowd. You definitely do that. Your shows are a great experience, like, you know, just your songs. But I mean, you guys, like I said before, you guys bring out your friends, your family. You guys definitely know how to bring out attractive women. That's a fact. Let's just say it. You do.
Yeah, the
boys are good-looking boys and studs that they bring out the good-looking girls in any town they're in.
Every
Facts.
Every woman is beautiful in their own way.
Yeah. No, but you guys do a great job of just support your friend group, people that come and support you, man. Like, can't say enough how awesome that it feels like, you know, whatever city you're in, like there's people that are strongly connected to Nightcap and the sound and the environment that you're giving off and the energy, and like you and all the rest of the 4 guys know how to just reciprocate that well back to them. You guys feel something special in that realm for sure. I definitely notice. Yeah. What's like the most exciting thing the next few months? Like, we got Glimpse coming out here soon.
That is an extremely exciting time. Like I
don't know when this podcast is coming out. It could come out after, but yeah, you have a new song. Whenever we're recording this now, but you have a new song next week.
New song. Yeah. Honestly, like we're super excited to be on tour with Crooked Kings. That's going to be, they've turned into some great friends, and can't wait to be on the road with them. Yeah. And just playing shows every night and going out on the road and seeing the West Coast with some great people.
Hell yeah. No, that's fun, man. Yeah, we'll be at it. And yeah, Troubadour, September 19th in LA.
That's right.
That's going to be a party for all our friends here.
That will.
And for
That's
you
gonna be a
guys.
crazy
Oh, yeah.
night.
I mean, it's going to be one of those nights that's special for you guys and just tons of industry people in the building for you guys to be playing in front of and meet.
Yeah.
We're
and just new friends, new
Yeah.
fans, and playing a new room, I think is going to be just a great experience.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick. Cool.
Well, yeah, man. I'm glad that we did this on
Dude,
such short notice.
Me too. It's
Yeah.
awesome to be here.
Yeah, dude. I like I said, I'm trying to get some of the pivotal people in the first few episodes that have helped build our company and helped build us the last couple of years. And you've been someone that, you came in here about a year and a half ago because my older brother Reed brought you guys work in Aviary Nation. And the story there, I'll touch in there. I mean, he was just like, dude, there's this guy working in our Austin store and he has pipes and his band fucking rocks. I mean, the song Hold On For Dear Life, like Reed is obsessed with.
Reed's the
and
man.
Yeah.
Shout out Reed.
Yeah, I couldn't be where I am today without him in my life. But yeah, he brought, you to us about a year and a half ago, and I fucking loved it. I loved your guys' look, your style, the sound. I mean, Cheap Thrills is still one of my favorite songs. I want to use that as like a reel for our Dojo House stuff.
That'd be sick.
Can you give me the instrumental for that, by the way? I need to ask you that.
I sure can.
Yeah.
I sure can.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah. So you came in and met the other guys and instantly clicked, and it's a niche of music we were going for. And I'm just happy that you guys are part of the building blocks of this company. And
dude, me too, man. We love you guys.
Yeah.
And on behalf of the whole band, everybody says what's up, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for our Nobody Gets It episode with Ryan King of Nightcap. And check out the rest of our stuff, post social content, whatever that might mean. And yeah, this is Ryan. Thanks for coming today.
Cheers, y'all.
Cool.
I understand why a lot of people who shouldn't do podcasts now, because there's something about hearing yourself speak that just drives your ego further and further. I'm joking.
Fuck. God damn it. Had to start with that.